Well, Clark Stork here, the Director of Communications with Golf Saskatchewan, joined by Matt Bean today, who's a aspiring professional golfer with some Saskatchewan ties, but now calls Canmore home. But Matt, before we get into kind of what's happened with you, how did the game start for you? Was it in Alberta, or was it really in Saskatoon when it flourished for you?
Yeah, so I started kind of hitting the ball around when I was really little, which was I'm originally from Calgary, so my parents kind of took me to the range there when I was 4 or 5 and just hit around, and then we later moved to Canmore, and that's where I started to really golf. And then once we moved to Saskatoon in 7th grade, I became a member at the Wildwood Golf Course and joined the junior program there. And then Jason Schneider was instrumental in kind of getting the competitive side of the game going.
So was there something about just, was it trying to find new friends? I mean, moving to a new community is not easy for sure, especially for a youngster when you've got buddies and stuff. So was golf an outlet, or what made you say, I want to go play at Silverwood, once you were in Saskatoon?
Kind of just from what I heard, we got there end of summer, so I didn't have much of a start to the golf season that year, but I played hockey, and from the friends that I met there, a couple of them were members at the Wildwood Golf Course. So, and it was affordable, and they had a good junior program. So, went out there, and then started meeting new friends, started enjoying playing with different people every day, different juniors, and it just became like a thing I wanted to do every day.
What do you like most about it?
Kind of being out there and having to handle yourself on the course. Sometimes it's obviously difficult, and you learn that at a young age. But kind of feeling, when I'm on the course, I kind of feel in control of myself now, at least. When I was a younger player, probably not all the time. But just feeling in control of myself and enjoying kind of the peaceful aspect of being out there while still getting the competitive aspect as well.
So from, I think you told me, grade 6 to grade 11, you were in Saskatoon, and a lot of your junior years were spent. Was there a certain time over those years that you realized, hey, you know what, golf, I'm pretty good at it. I love this game. I could potentially do something.
Yeah, after a couple years, so kind of the year, I think my first year in high school would have been, so in 9th grade, kind of the summer between there was when I started playing in bigger junior tournaments. I just played in some little ones my first couple of years. And once I started playing all right in those, and honestly, a lot of it came from belief in myself outside of tournament. I didn't love to practice when I was younger, but I kind of realized that was going to be a big thing if I wanted to do something with it. So after spending a lot of time practicing on the course, practicing on the chipping and putting green and whatnot, that's when I realized that I wanted to do something with it. I didn't know if I could at the time. And then kind of college was where I realized that I kind of have a shot at this.
To talk about the college recruitment aspect, I know you've graduated now, but I think I've seen your name around, like just following golf in Saskatchewan. I've seen your name on the list because of Carter Harcourt, or Carson Harcourt. So yeah. I think there's a connection there, and just talk about how college kind of came and went for you, and how it's kind of transpired into what you're doing now.
Yeah. My college years were awesome because we had such a good team, close-knit guys. Spent a lot of time on and off the golf course, obviously. But yeah, we had a group that pushed each other, and Carson and Cody were kind of the same age as me through all the years. And I had played some golf growing up with Carson in junior golf. So I knew him a little bit until we got to college, and then we got really close. And yeah, so college was kind of the years where I had to kind of push myself, obviously trying to beat the other teams out there, but also trying to kind of establish myself as the top guy while the other guys were trying to establish themselves as the top guy. So the intertwined competition in the team was good, especially because we were so close. It might have been a little more heated if we weren't so close as friends. But yeah, so just playing with and against them pretty much every day was huge, and kind of me knowing that I could do something and they have incredible skill and could do something as well.
There's been some local tournaments. I think I saw you in some mixed events and other things. You've kind of still kept tabs on Saskatchewan, hey?
When would that? I played in last year. I played with Leighton Birchall in a 2-man scramble tournament at the Hillcrest. So I kind of used that. I went to visit him for a couple of weeks, and then saw Carson as well. And yeah, it was awesome. I went and stayed in Saskatoon for a couple of days, and I hadn't been there in a couple of years. So that was an awesome trip, kind of to see things and be able to see my friends and Saskatchewan and how it is a few years later.
In Alberta, becoming a bigger name when it comes to the amateur circuit. I think on the Wellington Cup team in 2019, correct? I don't have it in front of me, Matt, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yep. There's a Wellington Cup team, some higher placings in the men's amateur in Alberta, which isn't an easy feat. You've worked hard and you've really kind of placed yourself amongst the top of Saskatchewan amateur, Alberta amateurs, hey?
Yeah, it's been a lot of work. My first couple of years as a junior, once we got here, was kind of difficult, because kind of just the kid from Saskatchewan that moves here in grade 12, and so no one really knew my name at the time. I kind of had to work my way up the ladder a little bit. And although I didn't win any of the big ones, I had a couple really good finishes and some top finishes. And then getting on the Wellington Cup team for 2019 was awesome. And then it would have been nice to represent Alberta at the Morris Cup as well, at the Pacific Coast Amateur, but it was canceled last summer, unfortunately. But I've been slowly playing better and better every year, and I think I can keep going on this trajectory. So
the next aspect of your game is pro and chasing essentially the PGA Tour. What's next for you? Because I think there's a big tournament coming up in May for you.
Yeah, so playing in Mackenzie Tour Q School at Crown Isle at the end of May 24th to 27th. So that's a big one for me. Top 25 there, gain some sort of status on the Mackenzie Tour. So going down to Vernon is going to help, obviously, with one of my teammates. His name is Matthew Kreutz. I'll be living with him and his family for a month and a half, kind of to prepare for that. That'll probably, no doubt, be the biggest tournament I've ever played in. So kind of trying to put myself in the best position to prepare for that.
How are you going about preparing for it?
So I've got a training regimen that Jason's helped me out with core exercises, rotational exercises, and then one of my sponsors from Calgary has a TrackMan in his garage. So I've been going there 3-4 times a week, as well as going to the outdoor range in Calgary once a week and hitting in the Canmore simulator once a week as well. So I'm getting 5 or 6 days a week where I get to kind of hone my swing in and actually see what the ball's doing, which is awesome, instead of just hitting into a net.
Absolutely it is. Are you confident going into this that you can be one of the top 25?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have more confidence in myself this year than I have any other year. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I guess I don't want to be a Donnie Downey here at all, Matt. It sounds like you're doing great things, but what if you're not? What's next for the summer? You're a young guy, and I think you want to chase that dream, and it's tough if you're not making a lot of money and stuff. But kind of what are the plans? Say that doesn't work out.
So if it doesn't work out, I'm still going to be playing professionally this summer. I'm going to go down and play on the Dakotas Tour for July and August to get some professional reps in. And I know a lot about North Dakota and South Dakota golf over the last few years. So I think I can do well out there as well, and kind of make a name for myself on the professional side of things. Even though I might not have qualified for Mackenzie Tour Q School, and then kind of see where things go from there. See if I play well enough to maybe have a shot at Corn Ferry Q School, or do the same thing the next year. Kind of see how it goes.
You know, if there's junior golfers, whether they're in Alberta watching this, if Canmore shares it, or you know, across the Golf Saskatchewan, the chapters here, the kids that are trying to find a school and you know they're trying to continue. We've got some kids that are down in the States playing golf, and you know, Graham Vallette has been obviously Saskatchewan's best, but he was adamant about going to a small school and playing in every tournament. That's what he really credits to his success. So what's the message for kind of, you know, kids that are chasing that dream? Like right now, we only have Josh Nagy playing Division I school, but we have a lot of other kids that are playing a lot of tournaments, whether it's you know, NAIA or the double, or you know, Division 2 or 3.
Yeah. I mean, I know Cade and Ty Campbell really well. So and Roman as well, and they're playing D2, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and they're pretty much, they've been lighting it up for the last 3 years.
Playing great. Yeah.
So, it's not D1 or bust, in my opinion, as well. Kind of, you want to play as many tournaments as possible. You also want to get to a school where you're going to have to fight for your spot as well. So kind of trying to find that happy medium where you're going to have to play well if you want to play in every tournament, but playing at a school that gives you the opportunity to play in every tournament is, I think that's a huge thing to take into consideration when you're deciding on a school.
I'm going to assume you got an education, like you must have some sort of degree.
Yeah. I got a business management degree.
And so how like relatable is that, whether it's golfer, but just in the back of your mind, you've got all these dreams and aspirations to be a professional golfer, which is fantastic, but you do have that backup plan, and golf kind of gave you that, hey?
Yeah, it definitely makes me happy that if things don't work out, I can look for a job and look for something that I'll like down the road as well.
Mom and dad are probably happy with that too, hey?
Yeah, absolutely.
The GoFundMe account, I wanted to just bring a little attention to that as well. You know, you're just looking for some help. Explain a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so playing professional golf for your first year has obviously a lot of startup costs. So I'm just looking for a little bit of help here and there. Anything helps, just to kind of get my foot on the pedal for this summer and get going, and just be able to play comfortably and worry about playing well.
Great. Is there anything else you want to add, Matt, that maybe I didn't lead you into, or anything, or just some something about Sask that maybe you'll never forget? We are Golf Sask, but you're kind of part of the team here, but we're just happy that you're doing some great stuff.
Yeah, no, I've made some of my best friends in Saskatoon playing at Wildwood, and then I also played up at Riverside for a few years as well on a junior membership. So kind of getting close with the guys out there. I've never lost touch. I remember Cade, Ty, and Justin Wood all came down for the Glencoe, and I was hanging out with them the whole time, acting like I was the kid from Saskatchewan playing in the tournament. So I've met a lot of good friends from there, and I'll never forget playing all the rounds with them.
Sounds great. Well, you know what? Once the borders reopen, we would love to see you back, maybe at a Saskam to maybe compete for that championship as well. But best of luck in the future, Matt. And from Saskatchewan, we're watching, and good luck in the future.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Clark.